Well, hi. I was reading something on the screen and I I couldn't see it, so I had to get up really close. Oh, here's Jasper. He's got to come up with me when I talk on the screen. Hello. Um, so today, but you're blocking my shirt. I wanted everybody to see my shirt. I've got the food pyramid on. I have my carnivore. I have a few carnivore shirts. I'm not one to wear um, shirts about anything usually, but I figured I would today because it's my carniversary. So 5 years today. It's got a chicken, a pig, a lamb, and cows on my food pyramid. That's about it. If the chicken, I don't eat chicken much at all, but I do eat eggs quite a bit. So I wanted to come on today to do like a little review about my 5 years as a carnivore. And I think my case is a lot different than most people because one, I didn't start carnivore to lose weight, so that my picture at the beginning of carnivore and now don't look very different. Um, I was 64 and now I'm 69. And the only reason I look a little different is because I have glasses on today. I just have my glasses on today because I got a weird, I got eye herpes. So I'm taking care of it by myself, taking a lot of lysine and putting sovereign silver in my eye and taking it. And it's getting better, but it's always slower than you would like it to be. It doesn't hurt. At first it hurt really bad and, it was swollen and it gave me a headache. But now it barely hurts at all. And I only have my glasses on because it's not quite ready for me to be able to put my contact lens on. So, but it's healing and I'll be fine in a couple more days, I think. So I wanted to go over what has improved. Oh, first I want to go over why I started the carnivore diet in the first place. And the reason I started is because my husband and I were already doing keto. And I was doing really serious keto, like my carbs were down to like 10 a day. And basically at the end, I was only eating meat, eggs, and ready to jump down? Okay. I was eating meat and eggs and a little bit of fermented vegetables. And basically, so when I started carnivore, all I had to do was to give up the fermented vegetables, and I was a carnivore. So that was pretty easy. And I had never had any kind of carnivore flu, or I didn't have any kind of, any negative effects of changing my diet. And so when I decided to go carnivore, it was because my husband and I were traveling and we heard a few. I mean, I've told this on another video, but I'll retell it now just in case you're starting here. We heard Sean Baker, Michaela Peterson, and Jordan Peterson. We heard their interviews on Joe Rogan, and that's the first thing. And in listen to me. In 2018, that's all that was out there. There wasn't anything else out there. Those were the three interviews that carnivores had done. That was it. I mean, I can promise you, there was one negative interview with somebody who was dissing the carnivore diet, but those three were the only, and you can still listen to them if you look up Joe Rogan. You can still find those, and they're still great interviews. And at the time, I figured if Michaela Peterson healed something like juvenile arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease, that maybe I had a chance of healing type 1 diabetes, which is also an autoimmune disease. The problem with trying to heal type 1 diabetes is it's not actually an active autoimmune. It's technically an autoimmune disease, and your body or something in your body kills the beta cells that produce insulin. The beta cells of your pancreas that are supposed to produce insulin are killed, or most of them are. But the reason I still think it can be healed is because most type 1 diabetics still have some beta cells that are alive. And those living beta cells might be able to be regenerated. They might be able to regenerate and produce more beta cells. So in that case, if you give your body the very best that it can have in all aspects, environmentally and food and attitude and belief, then maybe you can heal. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, and the other reason I wanted to do it was because of that, the possible healing. But I want to be in the best possible health, and I also, a big one was I wanted to prevent dementia, and I think that's a big deal in us older carnivores, that we all want to prevent or improve dementia. So, you know, I'm 69 and I just want to be here. You know, if I'm going to be here, I want to be here. So I'm banking on Carnivore improving and preventing dementia. So what has happened so far in my Carnivore journey? Well, what hasn't happened is I still get weird stuff like eye herpes. Earlier this year, some carnivores say they haven't been sick since they started Carnivore. Well, I can't say that. Earlier this year, the beginning of the year, so it's November now, in January, I had the first 4 months of the year, I had a cold, one cold in each month. So I had 4 colds this year. I got eye herpes. A couple of years ago, I got toenail fungus. That's something that Jordan Peterson had said stopped on Carnivore. Well, I got it on Carnivore. I also got plantar fasciitis. Both of those things have gone away. The eye herpes is getting better, and it will probably be gone by tomorrow or the next day. So Carnivore doesn't prevent every single thing. We are still individuals and with a history that we have, and we're still humans, so we're going to get things we have to deal with. But I think that I heal quicker and I heal better. So number one of my benefits of Carnivore is I have no pain anywhere in my body. And in the past, I have had a lot of pain. I've had a lot of knee pain, foot pain, shoulder pain, all over. When I was a raw vegan, I had pain all over my body. And especially when I walked, I would just get sore and I'd like start limping, and I couldn't go up or down stairs, all that kind of stuff. So now, as a 5-year carnivore, absolutely no pain. But I will say that I think the pain stopped after about 6 months of Carnivore. So you can look, if you're starting now, you can look forward to that. I also have a little bit better body composition, and I won't say that my body composition was terrible, because I was keto for 8 years before this, and I've been low carb or 0 carb for, man, my glasses just make it be all weird. the reflection and everything. I wish I could figure that out. That's a little bit, that's a little better. Nope. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, I have pretty good body composition. I've never been overweight because being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when you're 16 and watching every single thing that goes in your mouth and staying active because your blood sugar is better if you're active. So I just never got, and I think it's kind of in my genetics because my parents were both thin, but I've never been bothered by that. But I think that now I don't even have to exercise as much to get good body composition. I wish I could take pictures of myself, but because of my hands, the situation there is, it's hard for me to take a picture with my phone. But I've got great body composition. I can even see my abs at 69. They're not totally defined. I don't have like a six-pack, but I can see my abs. Okay, number 3, the floaters in my eyes completely went away after about 6 months on Carnivore. Now, floaters are those things, they look like little worms. They float in front of your vision, and mine were pretty bad. They just floated around, and they were getting in the way of me being able to see well. So those completely went away. My blood sugars are much better, and I've been able to reduce my insulin. That's supposed to be number 4. So I've reduced my insulin to quite a small amount. And right now I'm eating beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and I like that diet a lot. And I'm taking about 10 to 11 to 12 units total of insulin. That's my long acting that covers the whole day, plus the insulin shots for my meals. If I go on Lion diet, I can reduce it down a little bit more. And when I did the Lion diet for 3 months back in 2020, I was able to reduce my insulin all the way to 7 units of total. So, I'm thinking about doing Lion. Again, I did it in September, but I only did it for 1 month, and then I had to have my bacon and eggs and butter again. But I think I might do it again in January and see if I can do it for longer to see how low I can get my insulin down. Now this next one I wrote down, and I was a little bit nervous about writing it down, lower blood pressure. So I have a blood pressure cuff that I use occasionally to check on my blood pressure, and so my blood pressure historically has been high for years, and I've always refused a medication for it. It hasn't been dangerously high, but it's been, doctors always tell me that I can, they want to give me a medication for it, and I always refuse. I watch it pretty closely, and it's gotten much better. I think one thing that has helped has been taking magnesium potassium supplement. That's the one I take. I really like now because their products are usually pretty pure. That's the one I take, and I just take one a day. I don't take a lot. And if I remember to take that, my blood pressure is better. Now, I'll say I had just gotten back from a walk, and I decided I would test my blood pressure, and I wasn't going to sit and wait and calm down. I just plopped in my chair, tested my blood pressure, and it was 163/99, and my pulse was 83. So I said, okay, I got to calm down, do some breathing, and calm myself down. And so I waited about, excuse me, I waited about 5 minutes, And then my blood pressure was 148/86, and my pulse was 87. So I said, okay, that's still a little high. Let's see if I wait 5 more minutes and, just breathe comfortably and slowly and calm myself down and center myself, feel like I'm meditating, just calm down. And then I got it down to 132/77, and my pulse was 87 again. And so I'm like, let's see if I wait a little bit longer. So I had a Tony Hampton video that I was listening to in the background. He's got, I think his voice is sweet and it's kind of calming. So that was playing in the background, and I'm just kind of, centering myself and thinking about how relaxed I am in the chair and making sure my arm is up on the table and my legs aren't crossed. I'm doing all the right things. Took my blood pressure again, and it was 117/78. So I think, okay, that's good. But isn't that funny? When you go into the doctor, and the first thing they do is they slap a blood pressure cuff on you and take your blood pressure. And I went to the doctor earlier, got some blood tests done, and I had to, listen to her talk about my blood test. And my blood pressure was 158/something. And I said, if you'd let me calm down and be calm. I had just finished driving. I just walked in. I sat there, and they put the blood pressure cuff on. So it's like I said, at home it'll be lower. So they didn't bother me about it because they know I'm not going to take medication anyway. Okay, and number 6 is that my pulse is a little lower. And I'm saying a little because my pulse used to be around 95 all the time. I don't know why it was so high. I had a really high pulse, but it was like that all the time. I kind of think that having type 1 diabetes for such a long time had something to do with it. I don't know, but sometimes my pulse is like in the 70s. Today it was in the 90s, the 80s, so it's 87 the last 3 tests. It started out as 83, and then it was 87. So that is a little bit better. The other day, so number 7, the other day I noticed that growing up, I always have, how inside of, your feet, when you put your leg up on your knee and you look at the side, the inside of your foot, I had broken veins all on the inside of my foot. And I noticed, and I don't know when this went away though. That's the only problem. That's why it's way down on the list, because I don't know when it happened. It could have happened during keto. I don't know. I just know that I had them when I was a kid, and my veins look completely healed. They look like the veins on my hands. They look beautiful, It was amazing. So that was a really cool discovery, but I don't know if I can thank Carnivore for that or not. And number 8 is I'm more confident, clearer thinking, and I'm braver. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm willing to do things, and have art shows and do things on my own. So tomorrow is the anniversary of my husband's death. It's the 2-year anniversary of his death tomorrow. It's weird that I've got the Carniversary, which is, I'm proud of myself and all that stuff, on the 12th, and then on the 13th is the day my husband died, both in November. So it's pretty weird, 2 days mixed up together, but that's the way it is. But I have been able in these 2 years to do things that I was not able to do before. My husband was a guy who he really, he was amazing, and he was sweet and wonderful. But he really liked to do all the driving. He liked to take care of me to a fault, I think. Like, I just never really did anything on my own. I didn't drive on my own. I didn't really do anything except work for him. So I had never gotten out there and done something that I could feel like I had accomplished something. So I do all my driving now. I've moved into a new apartment. I love my apartment. I do a lot of things on my own, and started my YouTube channel on my own. I really don't know what I'm doing. I can only record myself. I don't know how to edit. I have learned how to answer people's questions, so if y'all have questions for me, I would love if you'd ask me questions and I can answer you. I love being active on Facebook and on Instagram as Amy Fields Perrin, AIMEEFIELDS PERRIN, and the same on Instagram. I love to answer questions. I always answer anything on Facebook Messenger or on direct message on Instagram. I'll always answer those, always. You can ask me anything about carnivore or type 1 or type 2 diabetes. I talked with a woman this week on Instagram. No, was it on Instagram or I think it was Facebook Messenger. No, it was Instagram. And her husband was just diagnosed with diabetes, and she was asking me about it because they weren't sure if it was type 1 or type 2. So it's interesting to talk about that. And anyway, I'll answer any questions here on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. So, ask me questions. Trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to say. But y'all ask me questions, and let me know if you have something that you would like me to talk about in my next video. My next video I thought was going to be about dementia prevention. I do have, but I wanted to do this first because it was my 5-year carniversary. I do still plan to do one about dementia. I do have a blog on my website. My last blog was about dementia. So I wasn't sure if I should do a YouTube video about that too, but I might. Y'all let me know. I don't really know anybody who had dementia who no longer has it, but I have been trying to study that because, as you know, if you're older, that's something on our minds as we age, So let me know if you have any questions, and please, if you like the video, then like it, and then subscribe to my channel, because if I get more subscribers, I can actually do a live with somebody, and I can interview people, and I would love to be able to interview people on this. That was my intention when I first started the channel, but I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can do a real live. So anyway, there it is, my 5-year carniversary report. And thanks for listening, and I'll see y'all again later. Bye-bye.